When looking at different problem-solving strategies, the view, the interpretation, and knowledge of the researcher could produce different techniques of solution fabrication. A typical strategy used in mathematics is to search for and find patterns in an equation, apply a proposed solution to the equation, and illustrate the resolution or the final product. Following this strategy, one could solve problems in a wide variety of situations. But what makes certain situations difficult is that the patterns are hidden, some in pragmatic relativism and others in patternist philosophy. Looking back, the main problem of this project emerged from the housing sector of South Africa, including the way the sector is influenced by legislative and financial pressure and the lifestyle predicament many South Africans face on a daily basis. The largest problem is the lack of adequate housing and the poor living conditions of the citizens in informal settlements. The lack of adequate knowledge, materials and funds have resulted in a large number of self-built dwellings in informal settlements. This practice tends to exhibit a lack of thermal efficiency and fire prevention through the use of combustible materials and techniques. The integration and application of prefabricated interventions into the framework of informal settlements could gradually alter and improve the architecture and the lifestyle of citizens over time. This will reform the thermal efficiency, safety, psychological and the physical experience of space. To contribute to a possible solution for this problem, an investigation of two large sub-problems of South Africa could be integrated into the study. These problems are an abundance of waste matter and a lack of construction materials in informal settlements. By investigating the possibility of how these two sub-problems can be integrated in a viable solution could pave the way to create a sustainable and low-cost proposal. This could contribute to the housing crisis that will allow citizens to have recycled materials as a construction medium. The conceptual approach to create a possible resolution for the main problem is to introduce prefabrication as an alternative construction technique into an environment where resources, funding and health are at play. Prefabricated elements will form the main piece of any structure, the walls. This will enable the users to incrementally improve their dwelling by utilizing singular pieces in a form of a plug-and-play system with the existing structure, and this process removes the waiting period for a ready-built home and instead steers the future of architecture in informal settlements to that of self-empowerment and immediate response. With each incremental stage of installment, factors such as comfort, health and structural stability will improve until a climax or resolution has been reached. This process mirrors that of the RDP housing. With each consecutive step of waiting for the structure to materialize, health, comfort and structural stability declines until it has reached a climax or resolution where one truly relies on the structure having been completed and ready for occupation. Prefabrication is not the most widely utilized construction system in South Africa. This has resulted in ignorance and a lack of availability of materials for lower cost projects. An important aspect that follows the panel's ease of use is availability. It is proposed that these panels could be freely available at any local hardware supplier. This challenges the common approach and thought process of brick and mortar, and even more so the use of conventional materials in structures. Alejandro Aravena, winner of the 2016 Pritzker Prize, suggests an alternative solution to the current approach of low-cost housing in Chile, South America. It is suggested that this alternative solution can be utilized in South Africa, as the informal settlement crisis relates to each other in regards with the existing self-built dwellings. This philosophy, in the context of this project, will be that of the panels acting as a prompt solution to the poor living conditions exhibited in informal settlements. This will fit into the existing immediate environment as well as being able to incrementally expand it upon. According to Aravena, if they can't afford a large good house and are henceforth often left with some smaller homes or building blocks, why not just give them half a good house instead of a finished full house? The philosophy of half a good house could serve as a pragmatic approach to the housing shortage experienced in South Africa. The philosophy of half a good house could serve as a pragmatic approach to the housing shortage experienced in South Africa. By applying this philosophy, one can improve more dwellings in a shorter span of time by adding to existing structures rather than fully and completely replacing the self-built dwellings with RDP homes. This will ultimately increase the quality of life as well as the architecture of informal settlements. Observations indicated three main materials found in informal settlements used in the construction of self-made structures. These include, but are not limited to, corrugated steel sheets, timber paneling, and masonry elements such as concrete blocks. To address the most crucial and susceptible occasion for failure, the connection to the structure will require a degree of leeway to account for the discrepancies anticipated on site due to uneven and unregulated workmanship. The panel will be installed onto existing structures by fixing screws through the existing structure and the galvanized channel. And between the channel and the galvanized the sheet or the existing structure, a closed cell foam closure strip will be inserted. This strip will prevent air leakage, moisture penetration, and a gap for insects to enter the structure. The prefabricated panel will be inserted into the channel and slide in and will be fixed on either side with screws through the cover plates. These cover plates will diminish the threshold between the structure and the new prefabricated system. To attenuate the newly created threshold between existing structures and the new prefabricated panel, cover plates will create a seamless edge, creating the effect of a floating wall. In the interior, elements are present that will create a more practical and user-friendly experience. A hidden electrical cable system will allow the user to utilize a standard approved extension cord that is plugged into the existing structure's electrical grid to supply electricity through the new panel, without any cables being exposed and posing a threat. To prevent users from using a hammer and nails to hang wall decorations, a pre-made groove with a sliding hanger will grant the opportunity to hang wall decorations throughout the length of the panel without the need for ironmongery.